The sun rose gently over the dusty fields of rural Tennessee, casting golden hues across the tired, splintering boards of the Chandler family's chicken coop. To any outsider, it looked like nothing more than a run-down shed on a struggling farm. But to 10-year-old Ellie Chandler, it was her palace. It was where she spent most of her time, whispering secrets to her hens, especially one, a pure white leghorn she had named Marigold. Marigold wasn't special to anyone else. She was small, ordinary, and not nearly as productive as the other hens. Her eggs were few and far between, and she never fought for feed. But to Ellie, she was magic. There was something in Marigold's eyes, an unusual awareness, like she understood pain, secrets, and dreams. The Chandlers had seen better days. Once known for their rich strawberry fields and honest farm work, a drought 3 summers ago had wrecked their crops. Then came Ellie's mother's diagnosis: pancreatic cancer. The medical bills ate through their savings, and Ellie's father, who used to hum old blues songs while fixing tractors, now walked around with hollow eyes and a silence that scared Ellie more than thunder ever did. They sold most of the animals, except the chickens. "At least the girls can still lay," her dad had said, hoping eggs might bring in something at the farmer's market. But even that dream was wilting. The hens had slowed down, winter was nearing, and the fridge, like their spirits, was running empty. It was a Saturday morning when it happened. Ellie ran out to the coop like she did every morning, barefoot, pyjama-clad, carrying a small wicker basket. Marigold stood on her usual perch, blinking calmly as if waiting. Ellie bent down, brushing away hay, expecting the usual emptinesses. But there it was, a single egg. Except it wasn't like the others. It shimmered. Ellie blinked hard. She picked it up carefully, turning it over in her hands. It wasn't gold, not exactly, but had a strange pearlescent sheen, like mother of pearl under a sunrise. She called out for her father, who came trudging in with weary steps. "What is it, baby?" She held it up like a trophy. He frowned. "You painting eggs now?" "No!" Ellie cried, defensive. "It was under Marigold. I swear it was." He took the egg, turning it over in his big calloused hands. "Weird," he muttered. "Looks like it's made of glass, or something unnatural." They put it aside. That night, when Ellie went to sleep, she tucked Marigold into a blanket in the coop, whispering, "You're hiding something, I know it." The next morning there was another, and then another, each one more dazzling than the last. Pale greens, soft golds, pearly pinks, not painted, not fake, real eggs with shells that looked like precious stones. Her father didn't say much, but he started collecting them carefully, placing them in an old wooden box lined with rags. On the 3rd day, he drove into town, returning with a serious look, and 2 men Ellie didn't recognize, one in a suit and one in overalls. "Don't tell nobody," he told Ellie that night, as she stared at the now 7 glittering eggs stacked like treasure. Not yet. But secrets like these are never safe for long. A week later, a reporter from Nashville showed up at the farm. Somehow, someone had seen one of the eggs, or heard about it. Maybe the man in overalls had talked. Maybe a neighbor had seen. Either way, the headline the next morning read, "Farmer claims chicken lays gemstone eggs. Miracle or hoax?" The world exploded. Reporters, scientists, bloggers, curious kids, camera crews, they all came to see the magic chicken. Ellie stood guard like a soldier. Her father tried to keep things calm, but people had already started calling Marigold the hen of hope. But the eggs kept coming. 12 by the 2nd week, each different. Scientists tested them. They were real eggs, yolk, whites, everything edible. But the shells were unlike anything they'd seen. Some said it was a mineral mutation. Others claimed it was divine intervention. People began offering money, a lot of money. One company offered to buy Marigold for 2 million. Ellie screamed, "She's not for sale." Her father agreed. No deal. Instead, they let visitors donate. For a small fee, people could take a picture with Marigold or hold one of the magical eggs. All the money went into Ellie's mother's care, who, for the first time in months, began to smile again. "I always told you that chicken had a soul," her mother whispered one night, her frail hand wrapped around Ellie's. Over the next month, the Chandler farm transformed. Fences got fixed. They repainted the barn. They bought medicine and proper equipment for Ellie's mum. They hired help. And Ellie finally got new shoes. Marigold, now a national icon, remained humble. She still perched quietly in her coop, blinking at visitors, occasionally letting one pet her neck. She laid her eggs once every other day, each one as enchanting as the last. But then came the knock. A man in a black car, government plates, a briefcase in hand. He asked for Marigold, not to buy her, to protect her. "She may be a genetic anomaly. We'd like to study her closely. She could be the key to agricultural advancement, or something. Even bigger." Ellie's father frowned. "So you want to take her? We'd return her, eventually." "No," Ellie said sharply. "She belongs here, with us." The man tried again. "You don't understand. This could change the world." Ellie looked him dead in the eye. "She already has." They refused. Public support was overwhelming. Hashtags like #HatProtectMarigold and #HenOfHope flooded the internet. Artists drew her. Poets wrote about her. Children sent letters. But not all attention is good. Late one night, Ellie heard barking. Their dog, Tucker, was growling at the coop. She rushed out with a flashlight. The lock was broken. Marigold was gone. Panic set in like a storm. They searched the woods, the roads, even called local police. Reporters covered the disappearance like a presidential scandal. National treasure stolen, Marigold missing. A reward was offered. 100,000 days passed. Then a video surfaced, grainy, dark. A warehouse somewhere. A white hen in a cage. Men talking in whispers about cloning, mass production, profit. It was her. Ellie recognized her instantly. Authorities traced the signal to a facility 2 states over. A raid was conducted. The place was shut down. 4 men arrested. Marigold was returned. Frightened. Feathers dirty, eyes tired. Ellie cried for hours, holding her close, whispering apologies and promises. Marigold didn't lay an egg for 2 weeks. And then, one morning, she did. A single glowing egg, brighter than any before. Inside wasn't just yolk. There was something else. A tiny crystal. Scientists tested it. They didn't understand it. But Ellie kept it anyway. "It's her way of saying she's still magic," she said. Ellie's mother's health improved. Not miraculously, but steadily. Some said it was the better care. Others said it was Marigold's presence. But Ellie knew. Years passed. Marigold stopped laying eggs one winter. Her feathers thinned. She moved slower. Ellie stayed with her every night. She knew what was coming. One spring morning, Marigold lay still on her perch, her eyes closed like she was just napping. They buried her under the biggest tree on the farm. Thousands sent flowers. The president sent a note. Ellie made a plaque. "Here rests Marigold, the ordinary hen who changed the world." The farm still thrives. They don't sell the eggs anymore. They never found another chicken like her. But every now and then, when Ellie walks through the coop with her own daughter now in tow, she swears she hears a soft cluck behind her, like a whisper in the wind. Some say it was all chance. Some call it science. But Ellie knows better, because sometimes all it takes is one small ordinary thing to change everything.